Well, hello, pleasant good evening, everyone. And we are back here with you again. My name is Pastor Tulo from St. Martin. I'm with my dear brother there. Pleasant good evening to you, my brother.
Good evening to you, Pastor Tula. Good evening, people of St. Martin, people of the Caribbean, and people of the world.
Well, we are happy to be back here tonight again. We apologize that we were supposed to be on last night, but due to circumstances beyond our control, we were unable to make it last night. But we are happy to be here with you tonight again. And we welcome each and every one who is watching and listening. You can tune in, you can give us a call based on whatever we're going to be speaking on tonight. And we're looking forward to hear from you. All right. Tonight we're going to be discussing some stuff that we discussed last week on the legalizing of cannabis. Our government here in St. Martin wants to legalize cannabis. And I have an issue with that.
But I was discussing that subject with certain people. One or two is for it. I still think the vast majority is against it.
Mhm.
But I asked them, I'd like to hear from both sides. I love to know the pros and the cons. But from my point of view is that, as I said before, St. Martin does not have the expertise. He doesn't have the financial assistance to make sure this thing can be done in a proper manner. And as to my personal opinion, St. Martin have much more important issues for us to be dealing with this challenge.
Yes, I do agree with you. And like I said in our last interview, um, I have seen people, I well, not people, I have seen a young lady recovered from drinking cannabis bush tea. And if the government is going to use it as a medicine, my question is, are they going to have it restricted only to the medical center, the pharmacies, the doctors? Because if you're going to legalize something to be sold in store in coffee shops like they have it in Holland and maybe some other countries in the European country, I mean, if that's what you're going to have it in St. Martin, for me, that's going to be a problem. Why it's going to be a problem is because um, you will have folks buying those things, believing that you're buying for the reason or for the purpose that is it is meant to use for, and use it for something else. So my thing is, in as much as I'm against it, if there is a reason for having it sold over the counter, not sold, but as a prescription in the pharmacy. So, for example, someone comes to the medical center or goes to the doctor, and the doctor say, okay, the thing that I can prescribe for you to take care of your situation like asthma is cannabis. So the cannabis now is given in dosage, not just giving cannabis. It's there's a certain dosage that you have to that's required for that which you are suffering from at the moment. Only if doctors prescribe it for a particular disease or sickness, only then I would say okay, fine. But to just legalize it like this, nah, that's not going to work.
Now, first of all, I trust that it's not going to do it in that manner. Uh, we have to find the objective and the main purpose of why they want to legalize it. Then we have to construct proper legislation
Mhm.
to fulfill the needs. Another factor is what about financially? Because what is the main objective? Is it to create help for people that may have certain challenges? And with that help for people, what are the financial benefits for St. Martin? And does it make sense to invest money in something where one, financially you can gain,
Mhm.
and for the little bit of people that we're supposed to help, does it make sense?
Mhm.
Number three, how will the legislation be structured to benefit the objective? So before that can be done, a study has to be made on all these issues so we can come to a good conclusion what has to be done. Is that study made? We don't know. I don't know. I haven't heard the government, the Prime Minister say that the study has been made. Therefore, we are ready to pursue a proper legislation to fulfill the needs. That I have heard nothing of.
Okay. And you know, like I said the last time, I heard the Prime Minister when he gave a speech, and in his speech, he came across as being against it, which I support. I support. And of course, the government is working on legalizing this thing. They have the information as to how they're going to do that. They haven't released that to the public as yet. The full scope of how this is going to be legalized, what it's going to be used for, and how it's going to be used. Because, I mean, cannabis can be very dangerous. And not just can, it is very dangerous. There are folks who put that in cakes and take it to parties, right? I have seen school children in their school uniform outside of the school compound, waiting to enter school in the morning and smoking this thing on the roadside before they enter in the class.
You said you believe government have the information. You assume.
I would want to believe that they have that kind of information to give to the public.
Somebody came up with an idea that we should legalize cannabis. But whoever that somebody is, they have not shown no study and no statistics how and why they come up with that idea. I mean, we just do things for the sake of doing things. We do things to make sense. We want to help people and also one of the financial gains. I haven't seen no kind of information, statistics to say this makes sense to establish. I haven't seen that. I'm not saying it has not been done, but as far as I know, I have not seen no kind of information really has been done. So I still want to know why someone wants to legalize cannabis with all the challenges that we are presented right now.
That's a very interesting question. I want to know why do we want to do that? And you see, St. Martin, our product is tourism, right? And we don't want to invite tourists to the island to let them know that it's whatever it is you can get out there, you can knock up St. Martin for it because it is legalized, which is cannabis. All I know who has legalized this thing to be sold in the coffee shops is right now trying to pull back from it. But the damage has already been done.
But look at the bigger picture. We have a major traffic situation in St. Martin. Let's imagine getting tourists come to buy this stuff. If you understand human nature, human nature is already prone to that. So you're going to create a more dangerous situation in the traffic. And when you get lots of people coming in, let's assume, to buy this cannabis because it's illegal, what are other repercussions that we have to deal with, which we are not prepared to? These are major factors we have to consider when people making celebrations to a small island like St. Martin, which I know we are not prepared to handle. So that's my point. And when I'm talking about traffic situation, for the longest while, we have a major traffic demand. We can't do that. We want to bring in more challenges. We have this traffic situation going on for the last 20 years. Up and now we can't get a hold of it. We can fix this challenge. But now we're going to add an extra challenge. I mean, common sense, it just don't make sense. It's we have more important things to do than to bring and legalize cannabis.
So, you know, when I look at all this little item here, the first thing that is on the Constitution talks about God. The first statement,
Under the Constitution,
yes, talks about God.
what does it say about God?
I can't from word to word what it says, but it talks about God, country under God, somewhere, somewhere around that. Now,
Another country, they have the preamble, and then they have the Constitution coming down.
the first sentence talks about Constitution. I have a hard copy.
Go ahead.
Okay. We are a small nation. Like you said, we are faced with so many challenges. It's nice that our last National Day of Prayer, we had the Prime Minister there and the Minister of Education, Youth and Sports, and she was there and she organized the whole thing, you know, and put it together and so forth. And there are so many other little areas in St. Martin that we are faced with, like you said, which needs to be fixed. Our youth, the way that our youth behave. Not too long ago, we had an incident with a school child who had an incident with the bus driver of the school bus. And there was a fight outside of the school bus. Now, legalizing cannabis can lead to situations like this.
Okay, but now I have to try to find it out. You said something a while ago about the government, with the National Day of Prayer, and what about the school children? Image is very important. For a government, who's supposed to set the example to the population, right? I'm not afraid to say, we have a minister, right? Who, for well-known lesbian, she broadcasted it. I could care less. My problem is this. What kind of protocol do we have? When we have a meeting with a lady dressed like a man, what kind of protocol is that? Can we accept that? How can the government allow us to have with a protocol that doesn't fit the standard of the people of the island? Whatever your sexual preference may be, but you should dress as who is supposed to dress. A woman should dress as a woman, and a man as a man. So before you go, tell them children how they should conduct themselves. The government has to fix their image first.
And that is very good. I like that. But my brother, here it is. In as much as some of us may not like it, we may not like the image of the Minister of Youth and Sports, Education. But here is my thing. We who are the children of God, the salt of the earth, God has given us a responsibility to take dominion. And if you research the word dominion in general, in its fullness.
Are we doing it?
Hold up. If we look at the word dominion, we're supposed to take charge. We're supposed to be responsible of this nation as children of God. There is something that is in place where it gives us the opportunity as children of God to take dominion over this nation, which is election. Okay? My question is, how many of us, the children of God, who wants to take dominion, who doesn't want to see a lesbian minister or a lesbian prime minister or this or a gay this or a gay that, how many of us are willing to step in that arena? Step in that arena to not see those things we are talking about, we are against, to not see it happen. How many of us are willing to put up our face out there? We know that sometimes it's going to come with a backlash. Yes, it's going to come with a backlash. Joseph took a backlash. A lot of men in the Bible took backlash. A lot of disciples took backlash. But what? They stood their grounds. They stood their grounds. Joseph could have fell for what Potiphar's wife tried to do to him. He could have fell to that. But what? He stood his ground. And he said he's not giving up. He's going to fight. He's not going to do the thing that would displease his master. Not just master, but God. That's what I'm saying? So if we are going to talk about not having this type of people in government to run our country, what happened to us? Action speaks louder than words.
I agree with you 100%. That test was given to us a few years ago, and only one pastor stood the test and stand strongly as pastor did. And I respect him. Good. Let me finish that. Quite frankly, here is where I get to ask certain so-called Christian because faith has to be tested by fire. The Christian run from this issue. And when Pastor Bell stood the ground, I didn't see the churches back him up. I back him up in the newspaper. Where was the thousands Christians? Where were they? You see, it's nice for us to talk, men and women of God, but when we gotta do the standing up to confront evil, usually 90-something% power and fear. And if we really believe in God, what happened? Endure until the end. What happened to that word in the Bible? Says, put on the whole armor of God and fight the good fight. I don't see it.
Do you know when SMCP?
I remember that political party.
When that Christian political party went up for election, my brother, if the entire Christian community had voted for this Pastor Smith, do you know, maybe all also the SMCP would have been sitting in government. Look at Donald Trump. A lot of people, Donald Trump is not a Christian, Donald Trump is not Donald Trump. But guess what? The evangelicals vote for him. And what? They gave him a mandate. And he's going according to what they asked him for. Because they gave him the votes.
What he promised you.
Exactly.
After deliver.
Right. Imagine if Donald Trump was a real, true man of God. What would have become of America today?
I'm going to tell you what. That's supposed to be exactly my point. If he's not a normal man and he can deliver,
imagine
we or the people say they are Christian. How come you all can't do it? That's my point. You see, the time in life we have to be real ourselves. I don't believe in saying I'm a Christian. Let me see your fruits. Let me see your action. And St. Martin's case, I don't see it. Quite frankly, and not only St. Martin, around the world, even the state itself, people preach the good word, but when they have to do the standing, I do not see it. In fact, I see unsaved people take a much stronger stance for what is right than the so-called Christians. And that's the problem. They are not being the salt of the earth. They want to be led by the unsaved people. I just don't see it. But if we was doing that, we won't be in this situation today. You said what? The majority of the Christians, they vote to the quote-unquote Christian person. So then you have to ask the question. The churches of St. Martin, are they really being what they say they are? Well, that's the question.
Let me ask that question even over here right now.
And we have to test ourselves. We have to be honest with ourselves. Are we being truthful with ourselves? Forget about what people think. When you look at that person in the mirror and you pray to God, are you sincere in your prayer when you say, God, I want to stand from you? And God will answer us, but I don't see it, my son. I don't see it. If you standing for me with all the evil in the world, I don't see my people confronting it. They accept it. So we got to question ourselves if we are saying we are people for God, it has to be proven in action.
Yes.
And if it cannot be proven, then we are a fraud.
And no, we started here tonight with we're talking about the issue of legalizing cannabis. My brother, don't you think, and I'm asking the audience, for those who are watching us, don't you think that if we had godly, strong, godly men and women of God in government, they may not be the whole of 15 seats or 7 minutes or whatever it is, but if we had a number sitting in there, even if it's 2 or 3 or 4 sitting in there, when the legalizing of the cannabis come around for them to vote on, I am certainly sure that if our true men and women of God was in there, they would have voted against it. And if you don't get enough votes for something to be passed, it's not going to pass. That's how it is in government. Now, those who are sitting there right now, a lot of them are for it.
I don't know.
A lot.
I don't know.
I listen to the news, brother.
Okay.
I listen to the news every day. I also follow up. I follow up on parliamentary meetings and listen to stuff. A lot of them are for it. You know what I'm saying?
What else are they from? Okay, what else the most people in government for that is evil? Tell me what else?
No. Let's look at the cannabis for now. Let's look at the cannabis for now. Because you and I know that it can cause an effect to our use. Even it's just legalized. Like I said, and I don't want folks to misunderstand me. If this is going to be used in a pharmacy when it is controlled and not given to coffee shops and those places to be sold, if it is given for just medical reasons in there, then, but if you're going to bring it out there, no, what I'm saying is, if it's going to be given, if the idea is to be sold in coffee shops out there like it is in Holland, if we had men and women of God sitting in parliament, I am certainly sure if it's 2, 3, or 4 of them that were there, they would not have approved for that thing. Because when something is put to the table to get a vote on in parliament, you need a certain amount of votes for it to pass.
You see, I'm a bit confused here. I sat down and watched a program where our sister had politicians on video saying they are Christian, but the same people who say they are Christian sit back and pray to world view and homosexuality. Now, the homosexuality is a lifestyle. If they cannot even defend that, or they are afraid to speak about that, what makes you think they will speak about cannabis? That's my point. You see, because our political system, let me say now, our people doesn't demand to know the politician is good, to find out about the character and the belief. We are voting and putting people in power we do not know.
That's what these people like being here.
And that's why, again, political ideology is important because it will define your values. You have to explain to people what you stand for and why. We don't have to agree. But at least if you tell me, I don't have a problem if you tell me you don't have a problem with homosexual. I have a problem with that. I will respect you. But then I know what I'm dealing with. But I don't like hypocrites who say, well, you know, I don't want to say nothing against it because that's a person I do not trust. I prefer, I know the truth. I don't mind if I disagree, but I know most of our political leaders, they cover in fear. They run from things that we should know. We understand. So we are voting for people who we do not know, and then they fools, we expect them to deliver something for us that we know they're not going to deliver. So we are the problem too.
Again, this is why we, like us, you and I, who are speaking here tonight, need to be in there. If God grant me that opportunity to sit or to postulate myself to go into government, brother, I will do it like yesterday. And let me tell you something, I am not going in there for friends. I am not going there to be acquainted to. I don't want acquaintance. I want to speak the truth. If I tell you I'm going to speak against something, I am going to speak against it. Because why? That's what I told you I'm going to do. And not just because I tell it to you, because there is biblical facts to prove and stand with me against the things I'm going to be speaking of and standing for.
I want to ask you a question. The thematic electorate is about 22,000, I think, when I last checked. Out of those 22,000, how many thousand you think are so-called people of God? Estimate what you see. You don't have to be accurate. 22,000 people who can vote. How many people do you think have God value, or believe in God value?
No. I'm not going to answer that question directly. Indirectly. Go ahead. If we have 2,000, we have 22,000. If we have 22,000, out of the 22,000, I am certainly sure that if not at least just about 5/8 of that majority, we can stand, we can take over as children of God.
5/8.
5/8.
5/8 is more than half.
More than half.
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
No. Watch this. Look here. The thing is, you may not have some people who are quote unquote core Christians. What? They stand for Christian values.
I'm like that.
Right? Now look at this. Even if we have those that would vote for the Christian values, even if they are not quote unquote Christians, like serving God and read the Bible and praying and but they stand for Christian values. My brother, I strongly believe that we will have a better St. Martin if we have real godly conscious people that respect God's law, people that respect the Bible, people that knows how to pray for this nation, people that knows how to go down on their knees, people that knows how to cry out for St. Martin. If we have these people sitting in government, St. Martin will be a better St. Martin today, and I have no doubt about it.
But what I'm trying to make you understand, I understand what you're saying, but the people of St. Martin don't want those people in power. Don't you understand that?
No, we can't say that.
I can prove it to you.
Why we cannot say that?
Let me lay it out for you.
Lay it out for me.
When they have this political meeting, this triangulation, these people are fraud. If I go here, but people who like something that I know what they want to hear, I'm going to tell them what they want to hear. When I go with a Christian, I'm going to tell them what they want to hear. Most of the people in St. Martin knows this happened, and the exception. You see, my friend, you only can change when the people really want change. And people like me and you, people in St. Martin know what I'm talking about. I'm telling you the truth. You see, the truth is nothing to like. It's to accept. What we have to keep doing is doing what you're doing here. We have to keep showing the people the pros and the cons and the benefits of the godly values. That's where we can change it. But right now, there's a lot of people in power call themselves Christian. And I see how my pastor program, when she asked them a question directly about homosexuality, they said, don't put me and respond. If you're here to serve me, whether I disagree or not, you're supposed to be happy to say where we stand on the issue. I don't have to agree. If you are sincere in who you are, the point of putting somebody in charge is not for them to agree with you all the time, but to be sincere with what they intend to do. And if we allow these people to keep lying to us, and we know it, and we vote for them, we are part of the problem.
Now, in a case like this, someone like me, the person they could argue with me all day, all night. All I'm gonna bring for you is biblical scriptures, and you cannot tell me we ain't going down that road, because we're going down that road, brother. Because this nation is under God. We are going down the biblical road. And according to what God's word say, where homosexuality and lesbianism and perversion, all this is concerned, we are going down that road. And I will be asking the question, is that what you want to teach or bring to our young people today, our children's school? Is that what you want to teach them?
Yes.
If that's what you want to teach your own child, if you have,
that's the intention.
You have a child, and this is the reason why I would not be afraid of telling it to them. I will not put any coals in my water to out it. I will let it out.
I'm going to make a challenge to you. And then you will do. But you say St. Martin is a Christian nation, which I know it's not, used to be. If you can find me just 100 Christians who will let you come on an air and preach this hardcore truth, if you find 5, you're happy. I'll be happy. I want 100. If you're a so-called Christian nation, can you find 100 people? And then you let them go out in the registration and the TV and preach against evil. I bet you can't find 100.
I could find 100.
Well, good. I'm making a challenge to you, to the people of St. Martin.
I could find
100 people.
I could find 100.
Start preaching the hardcore truth. Why this cannot be allowed? And I'm telling you, you're going to be in for surprise.
I can find 100, my brother. Out of the 100, no, it's good thing you said that. Good thing you said 100. Out of the 100, when I bring that 100 together, I will sit down and discuss. I will discuss just what we're talking about tonight: taking dominion, taking charge of this nation.
I'm telling you, I believe
my brother. Out of
I believe what you tell me.
have so much confidence. I have so much confidence that I can find 100. It might be hard to find them because you have a lot of sifting to do. Because people have a lot of different ideologies, but I can find 100, and out of the 100, my God, if their minds are solid and sound and willing to stand on God's word, I believe out of that 100, we can get something to sit in government and transform this nation.
Please do it.
I have no.
Please do it.
It can happen.
Look, I am not saying it can, but I want to see you do it.
Will you join me?
Huh?
Will you do it?
I'll tell you why.
That's
your challenge. I'm doing it here right now.
No, but
that's your challenge.
I'm not sure that one.
No.
Will you join me?
No, I'm glad you got that question. You know why I'm not going to join you? I'm doing it here because I want to prove to you that a lot of so-called Christians in Latin, they're coward.
No, but
you see, I as an individual, I'm fighting this for a long time, and I don't ask about the journey because I am brutal to the core. If you like to give you something, I'm going to die for it. But I know most of these Christians, I know they don't have it in them. You know what? People want to confront something that is wrong, but they want to push back. They don't want to sacrifice. And believe me, to be a true Christian, don't believe me. You're a preacher, read a book. God promised you suffering. He didn't promise you the prosperity, money. He promised you suffering. And that's a problem. People don't want to suffer. They want things easy. Again, that challenge I make to you. Find me 100% and tell them where they agree to do with it. They have to go on the radio. They have to come on the camera. You will see them run like cowards. I know. That's your challenge. I can prove it to you. And I want to fail. God, please help me fail. I want you to succeed. Because I'm telling you, you see, we are living in St. Martin, we are living a big life. And I have to get our quote here. In every country with ours, a few people who is sincere in putting on the whole arm of God and fighting a good fight. Some people do it for show. Some people do it to be liked. in God's business, God don't care about being like. God care about confronting evil and being brutal with it. My brother, let's finish. I'm quoting God was right. The fear of God is to hate evil. Hate is a strong word.
Yes.
Let's mean to destroy it. He didn't say compromise with it. He didn't say tolerate it. If you really want to be a soldier for God, if you want to be a real Christian, your intention must be failure is never an option, and your goal must be to destroy evil. If you're going to legalize it, if you're going to compromise it, you have already lost the war. So you find me those 100 people, and I want you to prove to me that what you say, you can find 100 Christians in Martin who can go out there and preach the Bible hardcore without apology and be brutally give up the brutal truth. When you can be to me, then I believe you. You may want to do it, but I don't know if what you want to do, we have. Prove me wrong.
Hear what the word says. The 22,000, many are called. Out of 22,000, few. I agree. 100 are chosen.
Yes.
It is possible, man.
I am not saying it's not possible. Prove it to me here.
Possible.
No, I am not saying.
And it's going to happen. Look, it's going to happen.
Your challenge to me, I want you to succeed. The question is this: my want doesn't mean it will become a reality. No, you see, I see different. What I do here, I don't care if nobody don't back me up. I was also a little soldier. I don't look for the backup. To me, God is enough. And I'm saying, if we have true Christians, why are you afraid? Because Christ did not let you fear. So why are we afraid?
In your challenge, do you believe that it is possible to happen?
Yes, it's possible.
You believe that? Yeah. You believe that?
I believe that.
And you're going to stand on the fact that you believe that.
I'm doing it here, so that's what I'm not afraid.
And you're going to stand with me in believing it's going to happen.
No. I want you to do it on your own. Why? Because I want to prove to you one thing.
Going to do it
I want to prove to you one thing.
The question is,
Martin, have a lot of people saying they're Christian and they are not.
I heard that.
That's my point.
I heard that. But my thing is, are you going to stand in faith with me and believe that it's going to happen?
Excuse
that
me.
challenge is going to happen.
We have camera, right?
Yes, we are going to happen.
This is not for me. I hold the camera, video. I'm fine. Also, because you know what? I'm a brutal warrior. I don't need no backup. In fact, I can get for it better alone. But for God, I will do anything. But the people who I should look up to, when I was younger, they disappoint me very bad. They're afraid, they're covered, they're Christian, they don't believe it, they stand for nothing. To me, a lot of unfair people have much more courage than the so-called Christians.
You're going to find that. You're going to find
So I can't trust
my brother, you're going to find it.
I judge you in your actions, not what you tell me.
Yeah, but you are going to find it in Christendom. You will never find everything that you are looking for. You are going
Find the 100 for me.
to find that in
Find the 100 for me.
in Christendom. And why you going to find it? Because what? We are not perfect. And we want to know that we
I sure it's not perfect.
Yes,
But see, we just had a discussion a while ago. You tell me that 5A, I'm telling you, 5A is more than half. If we had,
and Matthew, I said 3/4, I said 5
yeah,
I go over half
okay,
because I strongly believe
and
that God has a body in this nation
I
that
disagree.
stands strong.
I disagree. Let me tell you something here. That's with out of 22,000 people who think electorally, the average of 60% is vote. If only 10% out of that 60% population did not be different. And I'm going to tell you why. Even in politics, what do you think nothing about get done? Because the people inside are weak people. You see, to make change in life, you need political will, political courage. I'm going to prove to you. Donald Trump was not a politician.
That's a Christian man.
He's not a Christian, But when he wants something, he bulldozes between it.
Yes.
That's the kind of people we need, a strong character. God looking for people who are strong, who doesn't cover, who does pursue it with a passion. And if it means you will die, so be it. But if you're going to fight and you're afraid to die, forget about it. This is not your kind of game.
In every election, here's one of the things we face. And I wish we had never faced that when the SMCP went up for election. We have Christians, children of God, and it's a stigma in St. Martin.
What's a stigma?
People relate to people look at their family. So if my family is going, even if it's a Christian or not Christian, I'm going to vote for my family. Hold on, listen to this. They are going to vote for their family. Not because they vote for their family that is not a Christian, meaning that they themselves that is not a Christian. No. That is their choice. Hold on. That is a choice that they made. They are going to support their family member, right? Because they have confidence in their family member. Now, what I would like us to do, forget about the family, blood family. Okay? Let's look at the godly family. Because we want change. We know fully well some of our blood family members ain't going to bring no change in government. That's what we got to do.
That's the reality. That's the reality.
No. If we stop looking at blood family and put godly family in there, that's where the difference is going to come. So this is one of our first challenges, to take that blood family, that flesh blood family stigma out of the way and put godly family. Let the blood of Christ be the one you're looking at and not that one out there. And you're not disappointing your family member, you know. Because understand, whatever good is going to come to this land, they are going to experience it also. You know what I'm saying?
You don't have to convince me.
All of us will experience it.
You don't have to convince me. I agree with you. I am telling you, it's to get it done. And to do it, you need political will. You need people who believe in it. And people have a passion. You can never defeat evil if you don't have a passion to confront it. And to confront it, you need courage, you need the grace of God, but you have to be willing to suffer because sacrifice is involved. You can never defeat evil without sacrifice. The person with the most conviction always wins.
And look where sacrifice comes. Sacrifice comes when you forget about the blood family, that flesh blood family, and put God family in play. That is a good sacrifice.
With you. How much can I do it? How much are you willing to do it?
That's
my point. Find just something for me.
Oh, I'm gonna take up that challenge.
Please, I am going to take that challenge. You to prove me wrong. I'm praying to be wrong.
You're gonna be the first one I'm gonna come to.
And remember, but hold on, you got the objective. Remember what I said. Please, the objective is to have 100 people. You have to make a bond that your point is to go out and defend godly principles and to preach it. Not to hide behind the church, because the masses who's not saved is outside the church. So you have to
outside the forwards, not the church, outside the forwards.
Okay. You know, good. Yeah. So I mean, you have to go on the radio and TV and in public. And now you have to know, let people know where you stand.
I will bring them right in there.
Fine at the beginning, because you see what? I hear a lot of people who run the mall. And someone said, no, please don't bring the camera here. That's my problem. You make a nice story, tell me what you will do. And now I want to put you on the camera. And you run. I can't trust you. Then they're coming.
I will bring them right in there for you.
100?
We're going to have that discussion.
Minimum 100.
Minimum 100.
If you find 50, I will accept it. But the goal is 100.
And out of that 100, we're going to be talking about taking over this nation.
You told me 5-8. I tell you, no way. I tell you, if you could find 10% out of the 60% of the people who vote, that's a lot. And I don't think so. You got to find me 100 people to do what I just asked you to do.
Oh, yes.
Listen,
I take on that challenge.
Listen, if you get 50, my boy, I'm serious. if you get 50 people who could care less what anybody think, but to go out hardcore with a vengeance against evil, well, that's a miracle. I just don't see things.
I'm throwing out there to my brothers and sisters in St. Martin. I am coming to you. So when you hear me knock on the door, know that I'm coming to knock on the door when this is concerned. We are going for at least 100 persons that can stand firm on God's word and come for us to take back this nation for God. Because St. Martin needs God now more than ever before. We need change with godly men and women in this country.
One country.
It's too long now. We have been just taking everything that has been thrown at us. The time gotta come when this thing gotta stop. We are in 2025. And this thing got to stop. Our children are suffering. Our children are suffering. Man, come on. How long are we going to be suffering? How long are we going to be suffering? How long are we going to be listening to the unsaved world tell us, godly children of God, what to do, how to run this nation? When the government is upon God's shoulder, when God gave us dominion over this earth.
I want to ask a question. When pastors invite politicians in the church, I have to be honest with you, I find it so hypocritical because they fail to ask them the right question. You see, the one for me, you know why? I'm brutal. I have absolute law respect. Tell me why you're homosexual. I don't have to agree with you. Tell me why you're for it and why you think it's okay to be legalized. I know we're under the Dutch system and it's legal, but I want to know from you when you think you have the problem with it. You always have this excuse. I'm not for it, but you know, you never democracy. I understand that. You tell me, other times, you know, or the action, why you have no problem with what God forbids. I want to know. Another question. You know, they say you have to live by example. How can you tell school children to dress differently when the protocol in government, you have a woman dressing like a man? See, this is the question the pastors have to ask. The preacher did, when it's coward, weakness, God don't like weakness. And quite frankly, to me, a coward can't go heaven.
Have you ever asked God that question?
I tell them, ask them a lot of things.
But
They don't.
the minister.
I asked them, why don't, when they have the politician in front of them, stop being just kind of nice. Be hardcore, respectful, but be brutal with the truth. Let them understand. Make them expose it. I don't have to agree. Tell me what you believe in, what you stand for, whether it's politically, financially. You guys don't do that. And that turns me off. I don't like weakness. I'm looking for a warrior. I'm not looking for no sissy. A soldier of God got to be a brutal warrior against evil. You don't compromise with it.
I had a discussion with a government leader, a member of government. Let me put it that way. Someone in government. I had a discussion with them, and I challenged them on that same topic.
What happened?
And I told that person straight up, let me tell you something. You might have gotten more votes because a lot of people surround you, but God does not like your lifestyle. I told that to the person. I told him, God does not like your lifestyle.
And what did he do?
And I gave the person biblical scriptures to prove the fact. This is the reason why God don't like your lifestyle. And any nation that is being ruled by leaders that God displeased with their lifestyle, don't expect full prosperity to take place in that nation. It's going to affect the entire nation. If you realize, I don't know if you have ever seen the documentary about Fiji.
Fiji?
Yeah, the small island Fiji.
In the South Pacific. I haven't seen it.
Fiji. God touched Fiji. God destroyed Fiji. God did something in Fiji where people went into suffering. And when the government realized what's happening, and they brought that country to prayer a whole week. The man said, listen, this island, this country is shut down to pray. I don't care what religion you are, we are going to pray to God Almighty. After that, if the water was poisoned, the fishes died, the trees, the plants died. After all of that, God made everything come back to life again. And today, we have one of the most expensive waters that is fish. It's so stores fish with water.
But let me go back to the
You know what happened? Because someone killed missionaries in Fiji. Missionaries, and they killed them in Fiji. And God was angry. Now, watch this. Watch this. Don't you think there are a lot of things that God is angry about in St. Martin? And this is the reason why a lot of things is not happening for us where God is concerned in St. Martin. Don't you think this is one of the reasons why we are facing so many challenges we can't even get ourselves out of in St. Martin? Because what? God is not fully in charge of St. Martin because of the people that we who are children of God are allowed to lead this nation when we have been given the authority to do that.
Again,
we have to take some kind of responsibility and blame that, listen, we are doing something wrong. We are not effectively demonstrating our godly power on this nation. And so because of that, things are happening in this nation that will challenge us, that will challenge our godly principles, that will challenge our Christian life. Because why? We are not putting our foot down fully. Now, you challenge me for 100.
yes.
I'm going to tell you, I'm going to go after that 100 because I know I can find 100. I know I can find 100.
Let me add a little spice to it. Remember, you find that
We have a few minutes left.
yes. Okay, we find that 100. They have to be tested.
Mm-hmm.
They have to be tested. I can test them myself. You would so you want to know why? Because I have seen many of them and I've seen many people. But when you see fire in front of them, you're wrong.
Brother,
You have to be
we are
tested.
bringing them right over here.
And listen,
On this program, on this beautiful program, we're going to bring them on this program. And when we bring them, let me tell you something. This is the beginning of change that is going to happen in St. Martin.
faith must be tested by fire.
Oh, yes, I agree.
And the honest way we can know how strong you are is really be shown in the fire. The problem with the church nowadays, they want a salvation without the sacrifice. They talk about a God that they don't believe in. They talk about how strong he is. But when you put them in the fire, they give up. You see, my friend, that's what I'm telling you. Find me that 100. I have seen it in all my years. I'm telling you, I've seen weakness. God does not like weakness. Weakness invites oppression. King David was a strong warrior. Moses was a strong man. Samson, with all his things, was a powerful man. If you are covered, you cannot serve God. You must be willing to endure on the end, to the end. And if you don't, and you can, then you cannot be a man of God. Satan only attacks people of God. If you're a Christian and you say you don't get the problem because you're not a Christian, because you're with the devil on his own. The devil only attacks people who is against him. That's what I tell you. Find me that 100.
Folks, we were here tonight with you, and we had a wonderful discussion. Our time has been fast spent, and so we're looking forward to being with you again in the coming week, and we might have another discussion. It might not be on cannabis, it might not be in politics this time, it might be another discussion, and we thank you very much for being here with us tonight. We're expecting some folks to call us. We didn't get any calls tonight, but if you're online, you can send in messages and ask questions, and we'll do our very best to reply to you and give you the answers that you are asking.
In closing, people, in closing, whatever you do in life, you only have one person to answer to. That's Jesus Christ. What I think, or anybody think, or what the church think is not important, but you have to be sincere to yourself and to Jesus Christ. in that matter, because salvation is a personal thing between you and God. You have a blessed life. Be real to the deal and trust in God only, and leave room for disappointment. Man will always fail you. God will never fail you. Stay the course. Have a wonderful evening.
Until we see you again, God bless and good night.